Hello and welcome to a fantastic win for India with Australia trumped by some fantastic batting from Virat Kohli and that incredible knock from KL Rahul. You know, all those KL Rahul trollers, get a life. What an incredible knock that was today from KL Rahul. And why he's a special player, Joydeep Mukherjee has been talking about that on Rev Sports for a long time. And today that debate has been put to rest from 10 for 3. Plenty on our show. We'll get you reactions from Chepa. We will get you reactions from experts on Virat, on KL. And we'll get you something from Rohit Sharma which you need to hear because it's unreal as to what he said and what came true. But before all of that, first reactions. Joydeep Mukherjee.
Amazing win, really out of jail. And I'll tell you what, 3 wickets gone next to nothing. We sort of expect him to. Yes, he got a reprieve and everything is okay. But as far as KL Rahul is concerned, I've been sitting over here and busting my lungs out just because I know how good he is. And when things really get tough, you're going to need somebody who can stem the rot first, hold your own and then build on it. So that special capability to be able to hold your own, take control of the situation, simmer things down, and then take it to the next level. You have somebody like Shreyas Iyer.
How did you like Virat Kohli's innings?
In a few years, he'll become like KL Rahul. But right now, that shot was not required.
Is India winning the World Cup this time?
Virat did not need the sort of shot that Shreyas Iyer did. That's youth for you. He will learn. But, when the chips are down, these are the men you want in the middle. And that's the reason why he is so good. And no Indian team in any version can happen without him.
Fantastic innings, absolutely fantastic innings. Let's cut to Chepa. What our correspondents have said. Just take a look at these visuals and the joy and the delight on the faces of these fans. That is the first thing. We'll decode it properly, but the catch of it's Marsh.
Yeah, he's a really good fielder. I spent a couple of months with him in Delhi Capitals. I'm thinking that, and he's got hands the size of weak kiwi gloves. When I shake hands with him, I almost feel like that I'm shaking hands with your daughter, and I'm the daughter in that case. That's how small my hands seem next to him. I'm not a small guy myself. I'm 6'4", but he's a huge guy, big palm, big broad guy. And because he didn't hit that ball anywhere in his palm, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say the light got into his eyes. Because at this level, we've all dropped catches, I've dropped catches, but very seldom does it happen. It was only about one story high. Very seldom does it happen that it doesn't hit any part of your palm. And because he just didn't hit any part of your palm and went to almost just sort of brushed the wrist and fell on the body, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt of two things. One, the light coming in his eyes, and later he was talking to Alex Carey and saying, you should have called it or something. Yeah. So maybe he thought Alex Carey is going for it, and he went for it as an afterthought. I have to give this to him.
Yeah, whatever it was, all of India rejoiced in catches win matches. Did he drop that match? Yes, he did. Just like Harshal Gibbs did in that World Cup. And how important is it from the context of the World Cup?
Okay.
Not simply this particular match. We were talking about it before the show. From the standpoint of India, you beat Australia because of that one drop catch. Virat Kohli gone 30 for 4 or something like that at that point in time, and all of a sudden India on the rocks, right? So huge moment at this point in time. This is incredible. This is incredible. Now, 10 for 3. 10 for 3. That's what we were. Captain Rohit Sharma had predicted this some time back, saying he wants his team to be ready for 10 for 3. Listen in before I get Joydeep down this.
We have to prepare when the team is 10 for 3. And that is how I want to move forward and get the message across to the boys that guys who are batting at 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, there's there's nowhere written that if you are 10 for 2 or 3, you can't get 180 or you can't get 190 or maybe more. Giving you an example. I want to prepare. I want the guys to prepare in that fashion.
Unreal. 10 for 3 and the thing happens 10 for 3 and his players will it for him.
And look at the two players that were there in the middle, and why are they so widely? You know, Virat, no discussion.
Yeah, talk about Virat. Talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you like him, you don't like him. What a player. I mean, this is the utmost pressure. Talk about the Pakistan game where he did that day in and day out, puts his head down. The reprieve was not his problem. He controlled what he could have. And once that catch was dropped, he looked a different player. It just seemed like it was his day. He knew he had the blessings, and then he went to another level. And just to decode the match, also going to further, everything happened for India. Every towel on the back of every player, the dew came in, the pitch became better, Zapan in back, ball as well as we expected to. All that is there. But what Virat Kohli did was just calmly stemmed the rot and then built on it.
You know, 2011 World Cup, first match, 100 of Virat Kohli against Bangladesh, but that 100 and this 100, 11 years later, 12 years later, that time, there was a Tendulkar, there was a Sehwag, there was a Dhoni, there was a Yuvraj. Virat Kohli had no pressure. This is his World Cup. On home soil, he knows he has to do it. Look at the evolution of the man. Back in form, led from the front. Rohit Sharma's prediction, 10 for 3, coming true. Those are the fan visuals. Coming in from the checkup, Shubhan Chakraborty reporting from there. We'll get him live as the fans are absolutely bonkers. They are justly so. What a night for Indian cricket. Michael Clarke spoke to us about the importance of Kohli. Morgan spoke to us about the importance of Kohli. Let's listen in to Michael Clarke, what he said, and then, or rather, Roy Morgan, what he said about Virat Kohli and why he's special, and I will get to Joydipda again. Owen Morgan on Virat Kohli.
Yeah, well, here is a truly remarkable player who I've admired for a long time, and not only the volume of runs he scores, but actually how he carries himself both on and off the field is something really special. And when you look at the Virat Kohli as just purely as a player, he's the player that you don't want to play against on the big stage because he loves the big stage. He harnesses all of the energy and hype around big games and uses that to his advantage. And there are very few players, certainly over the course of a generation that I played in, that had that type of ability. So the World Cup is yet another stage that he will lean in and really, really look forward to playing a big role in Rohit Sharma's team, and he will want to win. He is that type of person. He is that type of competitor that there'll be nothing more satisfactory than lifting the trophy. And
10 for 3, when two players are out in the middle, you've been there, in the coaching staff, you've been there in the dugout. Shubhan Chakraborty joining me. Quick reaction, Shubhan. What is the atmosphere like? I know it's electric. You've enjoyed an incredible game. Talk to me before I go to Joydipda.
Absolutely, the crowd here in Chennai was as passionate as ever. The chant, and before the match ended, there was a couple of minutes where the entire stadium sang Vande Mataram together. I was standing, so you can see there's a bit of buzz around the fans here, but there was a couple of minutes where the entire stadium sang Vande Mataram. I was standing outside for some fan reaction, but trust me, I got goosebumps. It was as loud as it can get. And yes, KL Rahul and Virat Kohli delivered. Chepok's own boy Ravindra Jadeja, CSK's guy, delivered for India this time. So what better than this? What better a start than defeating five-time world champions Australia in this match?
Okay. Let me ask Joydipda, Shubhan, and along with the fans, and you can see the sea of fans behind him there, Joydipda. What a match this was. What a start. I mean, the World Cup is alive.
Absolutely, and today whoever wins the game has a head start to this tournament because two big guns going in each other, and whoever's won this has got to the right momentum. I'm not saying it's all is lost to Australia; they can well come back, but just to get this momentum, they play Afghanistan next for choice of a better one. They are not the strongest, After that, he played the big game against Pakistan, and from wherever you want, you're constantly talking about 10 for 3. You were asking for Shubhayan came on in the dugout or having part of teams when we were 10 for 3. Very seldom we get like Australia. Yes, some factors did come in for India, which worked in their favour, and we'll come to that in a minute. Sure, with the Dew and Zappa not being at his best, but that's not India's problem. India's problem is whatever conditions you were. But I thought the period from 10 for 3 till about 35 for 3 made the game.
So when you can hear me, talk to me about Virat Kohli and KL Rahul. Your thoughts on those two innings?
Absolutely. I mean, they set up the entire World Cup for us. There was so much talk around why the atmosphere is lackluster in non-India matches. But as I said before this World Cup start, the kind of fans entered when they were entering the stadium, I had said the World Cup has begun now, and the way Virat Kohli and KL Rahul and also Ravindra Jadeja with the ball set up this entire campaign for the Indian team. This can't be a better start for Virat Kohli, and you can see the enthusiasm. Everyone is happy, and that's what you want to see.
Oh, Shubha,
But yes, coming to Virat Kohli, yes,
overlooked by fans there. I mean, good. Enjoy. Keep going because that's what this World Cup is about. You wanted this because clearly you and Devashish, you all wanted
absolutely.
this. Yeah, you all are getting it. Tell me before I go to Joydipta. Keep talking.
Absolutely. I mean, not us wanting it, but the entire country wanted it. KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, the way they stitched their partnership, we were taken back in the first spell after the first spell of Mitchell Stark and Pat Cummins. We were taken back to 2019, that semi-final versus New Zealand, and everyone was thinking, oh, again a left-arm seamer, again a quality bowler like Pat Cummins, and we are crumbling again. But the way Virat Kohli and KL Rahul set this entire campaign for the Indian team, not only this match, but the entire campaign. This will be a huge motivation factor, motivational boost for the Indian team, for the batsmen, for the likes of Virat Kohli and KL Rahul, and of course, both were unfortunate to miss out from on the centuries. But yes, this is as good as century.
Fantastic. Absolutely. You enjoyed it and you sent us some amazing visuals. I'll come to you, but let me go to Joydipta. No, Adam Zampa was a bit of a letdown. Of course, the Duke came in, but Australia, after our spinners, Ravindra Jadeja, the other, you expected an Adam Zampa to bowl better.
No, I think the fact that the dew came in had a huge part to play because what the dew does is two things. One is that it makes it difficult for the spinner to grip the ball, so it becomes a little bit more slippery, like a wet soap. Second thing is the pitch sticks, it gets a little better. Now, because the pitch is a little bit dry, we saw a puff of dust. How many times did you and I sit and count the number of times in the first innings, the puff of dust that happened compared to the second innings? Just goes to show. And Dew is something, I just read about Mark Hope about a couple of days back. He said, I played 16 years in international cricket. I could never figure out when and where and why the Dew comes and goes. And it happened with us in Delhi Capitals last year. At the practice day in Delhi, there was a lot of dew. We went with that plan on the next day and there was no dew. There was no change in the weather. There was no rain or humidity. Everything was replicated the next day, but the dew wasn't there. So it's a real hit and miss. And I think this was a really good toss for India to lose because they could have batted first, seeing the slightly loose pitch. But the loose pitch, but tighter pitch at the end. But you can't foresee that. But India would have also batted first. This could well have been the other way around. So it's a good toss to lose.
Shubhan Chakraborty, if you can hear me again, at the start of the tournament, in fact, from
Yes,
the Asia Cup, so much talk about KL Rahul.
yes,
He gets on social media. Joydeep Mukherjee time and again has said on Red Sports, KL Rahul is indispensable. He has to play. Your thoughts on KL Rahul, and this settles the debate. Shubhan Chakraborty.
absolutely. I think it will be fair to say that KL Rahul is one of the most misunderstood batters of this current team. KL Rahul, he has been often judged by his performances in the IPL, and which is unfair because these two are different formats. KL Rahul is one of those batters who have never shied away from playing in his natural position, that is opener. And when asked by the team management to bat in the middle order, he has always delivered, averaging more than 60 as a middle order batter, keeping the wickets. He has worked tirelessly to get back to his full fitness. And look at it. Credit to his team also, who has worked behind him on his fitness. But the way KL Rahul, when he is in form, when he has that confidence, when he has the backing from the fans, the love from the fans, he gets unnecessarily abused on social media based on his performances in the IPL. This is for the team India, and the fans have to understand that this is completely 50 over and T20 format. Playing for India, playing for IPL team is a complete ball game together. So KL Rahul, he delivered when called upon in the last moment against Pakistan when Shreyas Iyer got that back spasm, scored a century there. This 97 not out is as good as century, and of course, what better way to finish the match than a six?
Lovely. Sorry, that yes.
On KL Rahul, this is a guy who's batted number 1 or 2 all his life. Batting now at number 5 and holding his own. That's quality for me. How he curbed his natural instincts. Those last few shots, especially the one to finish the match. You know, a fast bowler, over cover, stand and deliver. And I thought he enjoyed it too. When he got his launches, and he said, "KL Rahul, that's me." And you know, the step out and hit at 6 over long off, which was mid off at the time, to Maxwell was the walk in the park. But it just goes to show that he could have done so much. But it's just that he, for all the time, waited, played the patient game, built this game, and kept his flamboyant side away to get India this win.
So true words from Joydeep Mukherjee once again. I have to say this. This man has time and again talking about KL Rahul and how important he is at number 5. Let me go to Shubham Chakraborty one final time before I let him go. He's got to go and file his match report. He's done work all day. He and Devashish Sen from Chennai. Shubham Chakraborty, final comments before I let you go. You've got an early morning flight to Delhi. You go for that Afghanistan match tomorrow morning again. But Sekhar, how important is this for you as a fan, as a journalist, as an analyst that India started in this manner? Over to you.
I think it has been a perfect build-up. I was fortunate to meet CD Gopinath, the only living member from the first ever test win of the Indian cricket team. A fantastic couple of hours spent with him, learned so much. The conversations were good, so a good build-up. He spoke about Virat Kohli, play with the straight bat, play with the straight bat. That was his constant message to Virat Kohli. And Virat did play with the straight bat today. Not many fancy shots. He took on the responsibility. And now we move to Delhi. Delhi, of course, is a special place. A complete new pitch, by the way. We saw how the pitch played true to its nature in the last game. So I am expecting plenty of runs. South African batters scored 3 centuries there. So it's going to be a run fest in Delhi. But mind you, Rashid Khan, Mujibur Rahman, other spinners of that Afghanistan team, Naveen Ulak versus Virat Kohli will be a spicy contest once again in that Afghanistan match. So setting it up perfectly. Afghanistan will be a bit hurt after their first match. They will be coming. They have done well against India in World Cups, in Asia Cups in past. Although they have not won a match against India, but they have tied one. So yes, it will be a challenge. You can't be complacent in the World Cup, and Indian team after today's performance will be looking forward to carry this momentum, carry this kind of intensity. They were extremely intense on the field. The fielding levels set by the Indian team today has to be carried forward. They can't be complacent after one win because each of the win will string a momentum towards the bigger match like the England one, bigger match like the New Zealand game, bigger match like the South Africa game in Kolkata. So a good start, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and take it one match at a time.
Lovely words, good words. Fans are waving from behind you. That's the intensity. Thank you very much for joining us. Shubham Chakraborty and Devashish Sen, great work. You got an early morning flight to Delhi. And yes, now we
Thank
will
you.
have will be one spicy contest. Enjoy that. But for the moment, have a good dinner. You guys have earned it.
Thank you.
Watched it. Have a good dinner. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jadika, really stats given by our statistician Snehashish Mukherjee. Shapnil, if you could play that, the statistics, let Jadika talk about it.
Yeah, for me, Virat Kohli is this 85 in 116. He's as good as 116 in 85, if not better. Now, what he has done is against Mitchell Starc, he's taken a bit of time because Mitchell Starc was one of the main weapons early on. But look how he's got 18 of 28 of Josh Hazelwood, 13 of 28. So he's given a lot of respect to Joshy. After that, Pat Cummins 13 of 18. But look at what he's done to Adam Zampa because the ball became slightly wet and Adam Zampa was not at his best. So 24 of 23. And he also knew that if I could counter-attack Adam Zampa, they have nobody to go to. He's the number one spinner. And even against Maxwell, 7-13, decent. And Cameron Green was, of course, 10 of 8. So this goes to show his total dominance. If we look at the next one, which is KL Rahul for the same, he has also given a little bit of respect to Mitchell Stark, 10 of 18. Josh Hazelwood, he's taken them home, 16 of 15. Because it just goes to show the class of KL Rahul. And I've been harping on that for months over here. Josh Hazelwood, who is the best bowler for Australia. What has KL Rahul done? 15 ball 16. Pat Cummins, 21 ball 18. Zampa, 25 ball 29. So he's got more than 6 and over. And Glenn Maxwell, 32 ball 23. A little bit of respect to start off with, made up at the end. And then 1 ball from Cameron Green. And moreover, how did India go on? What happened in the first 10 overs? They were 27 for 3. Then, when you build on a partnership, this is what happens to you. Then you start building on it and you see that, yes, this, in the next 10 and in the next 10, what is happening? That's how you slowly build your way through. And as you build your way through, you will see that the runs are coming up. The runs are going from one to another. So, 10 over gap, let's see what happens between 20 and 30, 40 runs, no wickets, and no wicket here being the key. And then later on, 62 runs. So as you can see, as the wickets start the wickets column stays empty, the runs start increasing because batters are getting set, they're getting better at the bowling, and the conditions are getting better. But here, this graph is easy to do, difficult to do it in the middle. And that's what these two players did. That's why they're so special.
Excellent analysis. Excellent analysis. Thank you very much, Snehashish, for those statistics. Joydipda, as usual, was brilliant right through the day with his analysis. Last few minutes of the show. KL Rahul, we had a very, very important comment coming in from Michael Clark. If I could get Shabnir to play that comment before I go back to Joydipda, and then just also take a few comments on how the Indian spinners trumped the Australian spinners today. Very important, while we celebrate a Virat and a Rahul, had it been 10 for 3 and chasing 280, it would have been a different story. So we've also got to give credit where it's due to our bowlers. Before that, here is Michael Clark on KL Rahul.
Michael, one guy who gets a lot of flack in the media, in social media, but has a huge role for India. And I know you're a supporter, and that's why I'm asking this, is KL Rahul. You know, for whatever reason, he gets so much kickoff in the media. But look at his role. I mean, he's keeping wickets. He's back with a bang. He's batting brilliantly. Important role in the Indian middle order. Thoughts on KL Rahul?
Yeah, and his keeping's improved out of sight. He's keeping certainly well enough in the shorter formats to do it, in my opinion. I watched him bat the other night. He looks like he's back to his best. I think the leadership helps him as well, you know, feeling that extra responsibility. So he walks into this World Cup campaign full of confidence, which is very important for India. I think the other thing about someone like KL Rahul, he can bat anywhere. If somebody gets injured, he could open the batting. He could bat at 3. He could bat at 4. You know, while he's batting like this at his best, he can strike at 140, 150 down the, you know, if he comes in for the last 10 overs. So I think the fact he's in form, that really helps India. Gives him extra power, extra depth, and he's a significant player for India for sure.
One on screen.
Okay, so the last few minutes on our show, bowlers, they said it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, for me, different bowlers. Jadeja is a machine. Day in and day out, doesn't matter, he will do it for you. Ashwin, artist. He'll play with you. Kuldeep, in a different model than he's come back. He's a wicket taker. So this combination is great. You don't want 3 spinners like Jadeja playing together. So you also need to get good batters out of good wickets, so you need the guile of an Ashwin, who will bowl that ball to Labuschagne that he did in the tri-series in Labuschagne, like that. So for me, Jadeja was the pick because this pitch suited him the best. Ashwin and Kuldeep, a perfect match. Over here, a lot of pressure on Zampa. And Maxwell started well. You know, he bowled the 10th over in the power play. Just gave 1 run. Next over, just at one time, his figures were 2.1 overs, 2 runs. So he was giving 1 run and over. But that's because they were getting set and building the game. This is where the maturity comes. Sriya Iyer will learn playing the shot up in the end and say, but there's a fielder that covers, there's a fielder point, there's cover better. You just can't keep hitting the ball up in there, there's a rain field in front of you. You're going to be lucky to avoid it, but you can't say unlucky because this is a loose shot. KL Rahul, dot, they know, let's get set, we'll make. So there's a planning to this whole thing. And Sriya Iyer will learn, he's a fantastic player.
Absolutely. Method to the madness is what Joydeep Guy is saying. Last question, and this has to be a critical one. While we celebrate KL Rahul, we celebrate Virat Kohli, we celebrate the bowlers, one has to ask a question of Ishan Kishan. First ball, that ball, no foot movement, giving it away when you're getting an opportunity, you wasted your opportunity, and also Sriya Iyer. Talk about those two.
Yeah, I think they're both young to international cricket. Maybe the pressure got to them, but I think that's the way Ishan Kishan plays. And Ishan Kishan, although I know he's got a lot of runs in one-day cricket, or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you see the best players of one-day cricket, and in India, we talk about Tendulkar, Ganguly, the openers, Rohit, Virat, they take their time. It's a long game. Because of the color of the ball, and I'm big on this, because of the color of the ball, we sometimes club T20 and 50 overs together because the glitz and the glamour is similar. Colored clothing, rasbatas, the white ball, blue pads for India. But I find the 50-over format closer to the test match. I find the T20 a lot different from these two versions. Like today, 10 for 3, T20, you're done. What would you get to? 140, 145? But look at this, you get through. That's why there are many facets to it. You can come back. So that's the reason why, and Ishan Kishan will learn because he's not assured in the team. Today he gets a 65, and then he's knocking on the doors to everybody and saying, boys, keep scoring some runs because I was 65 in the first game, one opportunity, and I'm waiting in the wings.
So true, so true. I mean, and what he also said about the 50-over format, Mahela Javardhan echoed that if you're a cricketer, you would want to win the World Cup in this particular format. Absolutely. We'll play that interview again for you tomorrow, but for the moment, we leave you with some incredible fan visuals from Chennai. The night is young, the party is starting, the joy on the faces of people, the World Cup has well and truly begun. We will have Joydeep Mukherjee back in the studio for India's next game against Afghanistan. Promise you a special on Virat Kohli. 15 of the world's greatest cricketers talking about Virat Kohli. We put that together for you tomorrow. Watch out for that special show on Rev Sports. My producer and editor is looking at me saying, again, you'll make me work all night. But that's how we will celebrate Virat. For the moment, thank you very much, Joydeep, for being in the studio. Such a great guest to have. Such a delight to have this man on my show. But keep watching us from China. We posted the closing ceremony visuals. We'll keep following cricket with our team of reporters reporting from all over India and getting the best of interviews to you. For the moment, celebration time. KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, India off to a winning start. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.